Welcome in everybody to Turnin 2. We've got Logan Webb and JD Davis, and they have a Sac Town connection. Grew up right by the capital of California. And guys, I just wanted to start with an icebreaker, really test your knowledge on your town. So I have a little quiz here for you. Yeah. Okay? All right, here we go. What country founded the city of Sacramento? Spain, France, United States, or Mexico?
I'm going to go Mexico.
Okay.
I'm going to go Mexico.
I'm going to tell you. Got it right?
Hey.
Right. What is Sacramento's nickname? River City, City of Trees.
City of Trees.
City of Trees.
That's too easy.
Yeah.
That's too easy.
No. Capital City or all of these? See, sometimes you gotta let the answer play out.
Doesn't it say City of Trees on
It does.
Like, right there in that
Water
pocket.
tower?
Yep, I have passed by it every single
River
day.
City, City of Trees, Capital City, all of these.
Yeah, it was a trick question right there. That's all of these. All of these? All of these.
All of
Nah.
Yeah, I see you just need to let me finish, Logan.
Nah.
And, all right, you're almost done. You're almost done. Sacramento was the western end of the blank. Trail of Tears, Pony Express, Oregon Trail, or Union Pacific Railroad.
Union Pacific Railroad.
God, he says it with such conviction, and then you're wrong. Trail of Tears, Pony Express, Oregon Trail.
All of these again? No. Oregon Trail?
I know it's not Oregon, but
I don't know.
Pony Express.
I don't know. Pony Express. Yeah.
All right, I thought that'd be fun to kind of set the tone for this interview. And Sacramento, you guys, it's really an area where great baseball players have come out of, and I wanted to just get your take on growing up in that area and what baseball was like as a little kid growing up in Sacramento.
I loved every bit of it. I love Sacramento, love the 916, and just to see guys coming out of that area and Sacramento still producing a lot of good baseball players, it's a blessing.
Yeah. Did you feel it, Logan, as a little kid, just kind of the baseball culture of the area, that it was intense or competitive? What was it like?
It was always fun, and I think the Sacramento area in general has just been, well, half of them are from Elk Grove, so that helps.
It's true. They're all from JD's school.
But I think more and more guys. I know it's been really cool to see, like, my high schoolers, guys going off and playing at Stanford or other places. We had Nick Mears who was pitching in the big league, so it's that's pretty cool because I don't think you saw that before then.
So yeah. So JD went to Elk Grove and you went to Rockland. So tell me about when you first heard of each other. Had you heard of each other in high school?
Yeah, I think I've started to hear from you about when my kind of sophomore, junior year in high school. Just kind of the word or the name Logan Webb being thrown around, the next guy out of Rockland, big right-hander. And he was a good football player too, so I remember reading about him in the paper as well as Sacramento Bee.
As were you.
A little bit, yeah.
Fine.
So right there, but then we started really getting close as I came back from pro ball and he got back from pro ball, and we started working out in the same place. So we just started hitting it off, putting a face to name, and just getting to know each other and getting closer every single year.
What do you remember hearing about JD?
JD was like the big one that I first started to hear about, and I was a little bit younger, so I played against a lot of the other Elk Grove guys, but I think JD kind of paved the way for those guys to start getting looked at more, because he was getting looked at a lot. And, it was exciting to follow them and follow him growing up, and it kind of it made you want to beat them, right? And I think we did beat them one game in playoffs my senior year, but other than that, it was never a good time. I remember facing them in summer ball. I think you were a senior. I was like a sophomore or freshman, and it was
Smile happening right here.
Yeah.
It was
He's like, yeah, I know. I remember.
It was like facing. It was honestly like we were high schoolers, and these guys were all like in college or professional baseball. It was crazy, yeah.
And
it is.
Yeah.
It was
a lot of guys
and JD
here.
started that, so that's it's cool for I appreciate that. Yeah, quickly like that.
I love that.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys took two different paths, and yet you ended up in the same spot. For you, Logan chose to go into the draft out of high school. You chose to go to college. Did either of you have moments where you thought, maybe I should have done it the other way? Or were you always clear on your path? And Logan, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I think there's definitely times where I thought maybe I should have gone to college, or in 2016, which would have been my
You were recruited, right?
I was supposed to go to Cal Poly, and 2016 I got hurt, and I wasn't doing too good, so it's like, man, I feel like I wish I kind of went that route, but everything works out.
Obviously has worked out. Yeah, I just always think about that mindset at that age. Do you have thoughts? What about you? Always clear on the path?
I was pretty set on going to college. I thought it was the best thing for me to grow up as not only as a player, but as an individual as well. And just like what Webby said, there's always times of adversity in our lives as we take up the next step of, a little bit of doubt creeps into our minds. We're baseball players, but we're humans as well. And I think around my freshman and sophomore year, I started to have a little bit more failure and adversity. And so, those moments crept in my mind where I was like, man, I wish I would have just gone to pro ball. And looking back at it, I'm pretty happy with what I went through, and kind of the adversity and the ups and downs, and just to where I'm at today.
I got word that JD is meticulous with his note-taking on opposing pitchers. So what are your notes on Logan, JD?
One, obviously, you guys all know, ground ball pitcher, sinker slider guy, very good command, work both sides of the plate. Got to stay disciplined, got to keyhole him and get something out over the plate to maybe drive right back at him or at the second baseman.
Oh, it was good. A
Yep.
good scouting report.
Yep.
So you did face each other. Do you remember it, Logan? Facing JD?
2000 what?
20.
So 2020?
2021.
Yeah.
I remember the first at bat. I don't remember the other ones.
What do you remember from the first at bat?
I got you in the first at
You
bat.
did.
Struck him out.
You
You
did.
did.
Surprised me on that slider.
You
Thing
got
moved a
him-
lot
you
more
got him
than
on
it
the
did. I
second.
was like, oh.
You
I
him
got
on the
Conforto
second.
too, the first
Yep.
at bat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So JD is 0 for 2 against you with a strikeout and a 6-3 ground out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you remember facing him?
Yeah, I actually do. The first at bat, which he struck me out on, that slider broke more than what I assumed it was going to be, and got me to chase outside. And then I think he kept busting me back in, so I rolled over to 6-3. So yeah, shortstop. So
Bragging right.
it's all right. 1 out of 3. Maybe next time. That's all I need.
All right, so Logan, you signed a nice extension, and I actually wanted to ask both of you about it. Just Logan, your thoughts on knowing you're going to be here for a while and that security that an extension gives you, and JD, what it says as a teammate of his, and how proud you are, or whatever your thoughts are. So let's start with JD.
Well, yeah, I mean, from the top, seeing him come from high school and being a 916 kid, and playing in the backyard and playing for San Francisco and getting an extension, I think that's speaks highly of itself right then and there, of how he is as a teammate, character off the field, on and off, and just as a leader with the pitching staff and with this group moving forward. You see, or San Francisco Giants fans have seen the passing of the torch with you see, Crawford, Bumgarner, Posey, all these guys that we've grown up and seen, that now we're stepping in, which is kind of unreal for us. It's kind of a story or a fairy tale for us to, him in particular, to get that extension and try to be the future and be the pillar and be a cornerstone for this organization. So, I mean, in itself, he said, I paved the way from high school, but it looks like, he's paved the way for, a future for any Northern California kid that's dreaming to pitch for the San Francisco Giants.
Well said. Thoughts on that, Logan?
Thanks.
Say, you're welcome.
I think it's really cool. It's really cool for me to have you know, a lot of Northern California guys, you know, starting to play for our team. You know, you got JD, you got Mitch, you got Jock, you got Crawl. I think Brandon is kind of the first one to kind of do that. And, you know, I've been lucky enough to play with Brandon for, it's going on 5 years now, and seeing the impact he has on the Bay Area and just Northern California, like, made me want to be like that. And I think, you know, us bringing in these guys that are also from Northern California, you know, I hope I get to play with JD for the rest of my career, and I hope I get to play with Mitch and Jock and all these guys that are, you know, just Northern California guys that love the Giants. Maybe not at the beginning when we were younger, but like, I think once we, you know, we got here and got to see how great of an organization and how great the city is, and playing in this ballpark every you know, half of our games, it's pretty special. And I know, you know, having our community behind us, right, like in Northern California behind us as players, because, you know, it's really cool for me to see kids from Sacramento or you know, from the Bay Area wearing my jersey, or wearing JD's jersey or Mitch's jersey, Jock's jersey, obviously Brandon. You see a million of those, but I think it's because those kids were just like us, and they just want to be, you know, like us when they're older, because, you know, playing for our hometown team, it's pretty special. Yeah,
I'm sure it's really easy for you guys to understand that, being that, and it's so unique and special to play near your hometown. Last question for you, for each of you, your favorite memory coming as a fan to Oracle Park and watching the Giants.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Logan can relate. There was a lot of times where travel ball in middle school, or in elementary school, middle school, and high school, just coming over here and playing in the Bay Area in tournaments, and just kind of getting away getting away with the family for maybe a weekend here in San Fran, and just visiting, going out to dinner, to a nice dinner, and spending time, and then catching a game. In past interviews, I've said, like, I've probably have stayed in a dozen different spots in this stadium. So like I mean, there's no particular one. I think the one that I like the most is probably sitting out there in 415 or in Levi's Landing, just kind of seeing the view of the Bay Area, and then looking back and seeing home plate, kind of that vantage point. So, but yeah, I mean, this ballpark's beautiful, and just to, you know, see it as a little kid, play on it, and then to now, here I am now, it's pretty crazy.
Almost surreal.
Yeah.
How about you, Logan?
I would say that, like, my favorite place to be, just like JD, is the Levi's Landing. Like, I remember coming in here when I was younger, and you know, I feel like this is such a good ballpark to just, even if your seats aren't out there, to just walk around, right? And get the different foods. And you know, I remember coming here with my grandparents and walking around, and, you know, Barry Bonds was playing, so it's like, I think everybody can say, I mean, all around the country, that Barry Bonds was probably their favorite player growing up. And so being able to, you know, be an hour and 30 minutes away and coming to see him play, that's pretty cool.
Pretty special.
Yeah.
All right, JD and Logan, thank you so much for sharing your time about Sac Town.
No problem. Thank you for having us.